Nation.
Hey, what up, what up? How y'all feeling today? I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling righteous, but time to shout out them members. Shout out to Broke Pineapple. Shout out to Stacy Johnson Green for charging up, and shout out to my dog Blick for upgrading. Charging up to that survivor membership. And then without further ado, ladies and ghetto men, we gonna get straight into it. I go by D-Jack, but you can call me D.
So I go extra hard on that hard flow.
Call me D. Now let's take it back to the year 04, 05, and this is my preteen years. You know, I ain't dropped too many stories about those times, which is a lot of crazy stories in it. By now, my mother, she was still alive, and we living with my great-great-grandmother. And my mom and dad was separated for years at this point, so I would spend time with him in spurts throughout the years. You know, I might be with him during the summer. I might be with him during the beginning of the school year or springtime, shit like that. And we'll go from one parent to the other all through the year. And that's one thing I always love about my parents. I would be considered to come from a broken home, but I swear to God, it never really felt broken because I always seen both my parents. Because I was living with my mom around this time, things were a lot less strict. I could come and go as I pleased most days. Not saying she wouldn't be pissed or nothing, but she was more so worried. Like if I get sucked into that street life like my dad and she was back in the day. Now on this day, I decided to walk all the way to the Southside Plaza and buy me a nice little outfit. And I remember the name brand called Old School. I don't know if you remember that name brand, but it was in the hood areas, urban stores, I should say. Old School wasn't that crazy of a fad, but it was cool enough to wear. And I was so proud to get this outfit that summer because I used my last $10 I had left from my money I made cutting yards around my way. You know, I always wanted to feel responsible or independent, like, yeah, I did this. I bought this myself. So I walk all the way back home, 90-degree heat. I run in and show my mama the outfit, and she twists her face up like, boy, you really gonna wear that? Then I go show her everything else to go with it, and she like, all right, okay. That's a bet, son. I got you. And her boyfriend at the time was in the room. And I asked him, like, can I wear his gold watch and his chain? Because he don't never wear it. He always just keep it on the dresser. I'm like, man, let me wear that joint. Like, let me get fresh for the day. But the only reason I even asked him this, because this guy she was dating at the time was a square. At my age, I knew he was a square. You know what I mean? He wasn't my dad. He was a real nice guy. And it's kind of fucked up, but I knew he was gonna say yeah. I go into my room, I get prepared, I take a shower, get myself together, do my push-ups. I used to do 10 push-ups every morning and 10 push-ups every night. You might hear that and think, what real results you gonna see from that? But at that young of an age where your metabolism is high, by the time summer was over, bro, my body completely transformed. So it's nothing special going on this day. Nothing. It's really just a regular day. But this was always a routine of mine, even if buying a new shirt wasn't even involved. I was so self-conscious about how I looked around this time. I was chubby, pimples on my face. Like I told y'all before, I felt like I had to look my best at all times. Every day, every minute, every night. And I would wear bright colors during the day, and I would wear all black during the night. Don't matter what it was. It had to be all black. Now, something would happen to where the outfit came in handy. I had a girlfriend around this time. And I told you guys about this girl in the previous story, not sure which one, where I was in middle school, 13 years old, being in 8th grade, and I had a girl who was in high school. She was a freshman or a sophomore, I'm not sure. And she would come see me every single day after school because our schools was right beside each other. I'm going to Thompson Middle, she going to Huguenot High. This made the girls at my school love me, and the guys hated me even more. I also moved to a different place, so I'm not in the same neighborhood I was when I met her. So our relationship a little strained. We barely talking, barely seeing each other, so we were super out of touch. Our relationship wasn't as strong as it used to be, but this day, she really wanted to see me. Like, she made the case like, nigga, I'm gonna see you today. And let me tell you, just to give you a brief recap, this is what puppy love really feels like. If you don't talk to this person that day, you're gonna die. When your phone ringing and you know it's her, you run into the phone, getting matching necklaces, falling asleep on the phone together. Bro, we used to literally send each other letters in the mail. And the next time we talk on the phone, we telling each other,
Oh yeah, I mailed that letter yesterday. Yeah, I messed up the stamp and everything, but I think it should get to you tomorrow.
like, dead serious. Kinda ain't a bad idea for us grown folk today, you know what I'm saying? Put something different into your life. Anyway, it just feels like y'all would be together for the rest of your life. So when we actually did break up, I expected it to burn a lot more. So she comes to meet me. I'm standing on the sidewalk in front of my house on my bike, and she pulls up. But the whole meet didn't last but 10 minutes. I don't remember why, but I was mad at her for something. I don't know. And she was looking bad as fuck that night. I don't know why I was mad at her. She was so goddamn bad. She ended up leaving. I rolled off. Matter of fact, it was some self-conscious shit going on with me. That's why I was mad at her. I always thought she would cheat because I was younger. She started driving first, started working first. So I expected her to grow from me after a while. But my dumb ass ended our relationship with my own low self-esteem. So I go back home and I redress myself into my all black outfit. I still got the chain on, the watch on, and I go meet up with my homeboy. We say Duran, but every time his mama come in,
Duran, clean up your room.
I swear I thought it was just black and white. I don't know what it is that he's mixed with, but he had that long, dark, curly hair and shit. Who knows? We knew each other since elementary school. Me and this homeboy, we used to go to putt-putt every other night. I'm pretty sure everybody should know what putt-putt is. I don't know what part of the country you from or where you at, but putt-putt is basically an arcade where the golfing experience is supposed to be the main attraction to the place, when really it ain't. Every time we went, we never golfed. Going out with your family, we don't golf. Going out with my girl, we don't golf. We just play games. But I stopped going with him because I felt a little immature or lame to be at an arcade every other day of the week. Like, we not talking every weekend. We talking about on Tuesdays and Thursdays type shit. This dude damn near mastered the dance game where you match the steps on the screen. I never liked it. So I would sit back and holler at other females, or I just talk to my girl on the phone until he was done. On this particular night while he... Bro, he is going in his zone. A pistol goes flying out of his hoodie pocket. It's not too many people here. It's kind of late, and I'm the only one who's seen it. It's a few people there, but not a lot. He jumps off while I'm picking it up to give it to him, and I'm asking him, like, the fuck you doing with a gun at putt-putt, bro? And he tell me some lame excuse about a run-in that we had with this dude who tried to bully us a week before. Another reason I stopped going with him, because a lot of hood people like me view that sort of thing as lame or not as cool, because the only people who were there this much were the gothic groups, the nerdy types, the rejects. But I knew this dude so long, I felt like a fake if I stopped going with him because of other people's perception. I told my mother about it, and she told me if I myself don't fuck with it, that's just me. It's not your fault that others feel the same way. And that shit made a lot of sense. So you right, mama. God rest her soul. Now, the night that he's talking about with this dude called himself bullying us, the guy was jive fucking with Duran. Punched Duran dead in his back for nothing. I'm at the game doing the driving game. He doing the driving game. I heard the punch. So I turned my head and I seen him. He already backing up after he punched him. You can tell he just did something to him. And here go Duran. Hey, bro. Yeah, bro. Bro just punched you in the back, bro. I mean, never seen this dude in my life. And he cold cocks my boy straight in the back. Now, I stand up for him and I say, leave that man alone. Like, he ain't bother nobody. He had his girlfriend with him, and she pulls me away saying, whispering in my ear, like, look, just let it go. I respect that's your friend and you want to stand up for him, but look, he ain't even standing up for himself. Don't get beat up for this nigga, like, for real. Like, why the fuck you hanging with this little white boy anyway? Like, what the fuck? You from around our way. What? I don't know you. I don't know your ass either, but you from around my way. I know you don't know me, but you know my face, don't you? I look at her face real good. I'm like, damn, I do know her from somewhere, so you might be talking about around my way. But she does look older than me, so that's probably why we ain't never interact with each other. And that last part when she said, don't get beat up for this nigga, I mug up at her like, she gave me that nigga, look at my boyfriend and look at you face expression. Saying that he was drunk and she gonna calm him down. He drunk, like, bro look like he around our age. Like, he can't be number 14, 15. I'm assuming he's around our age. He just punched my boy in the back. Why would he be an adult or a young adult punching this little boy in the back? But she tell me it's his 18th birthday tonight and he drunk. And I'm like, bro, that shit don't excuse that. And sidebar, why didn't none of us view older kids beating up smaller kids as weak as fuck? I mean, of course, eventually we feel that way, but as kids, it damn near turned me into a lightweight bully myself, which I talk about in another story if you ain't seen it. Back to the story. So after he dropped that gun and he explained himself and he tell me why and all that, and I say, look, we ain't seen him since or even know who he is. And I asked him where he get it from. He said he bought it. Bro, we 13, 14 years old. You ain't getting no goddamn gun by yourself. Even on the street, a motherfucker gonna look at you crazy. I might get away with it, but you, no. So I let it go, and we leave earlier after that. And when we get back to his crib, we decide to make a trip to the store, which is about 3 blocks away, called Mr. K Food Store, and it's set right in the heart of our neighborhood, the Dirty 30s. Now, I knew where we was. I knew what type of element lurked around us. So I took my gold chain and my ring off and I stuffed it in my pocket. Well, my mom boyfriend's chain and ring. Even as a little dude, I ain't get that tough shit, having to put your life on the line for material shit such as a goddamn chain. And I def won't dumb enough to draw attention to myself at 10 o'clock at night with it on. So Duran asked me why I put it in my pocket, saying we good and showed me the damn pistol. I said, bro, having a gun just means that nigga could have one too. With all this gun talk, it made it real ironic for what was to come in the next 15 minutes. Now, I ain't stunting Duran at all. I still tuck my shit in, we start to walking. I ended up stopping to tie my shoes up a little tighter just in case we gotta run for any type of reason. And I noticed Duran's feet. Boy's shoes was fresh as hell. Looked like his all whites was glowing. And I told him, man, go back in the house and change your shoes before we walk up this block, bro. You need to stay low key. He started talking about whatever stupid reasons he had for sticking out like a sore thumb at 10 o'clock at night. I throw down my hoodie, tied it down, kept my head low to look suspicious. I figured out that looking like a predator kept predators away for the most part. We're now a block away from the store and we walking past 3 guys standing outside the gate of a house. My spidey senses get to tingling. It's a feeling I've ever only got around my own kind. I feel safe in every other part of my city other than my own area or areas that are like mine. I tell Duran, let's cross the street. And he asked me, was I scared? I tell him I'm cautious. Let's not even get in these niggas' way. Gun or no gun, we still can die, nigga. He's sucking his teeth like I told him he can't play the game for a week. Fronting his move like he don't feel the same way. But that strap put a battery in his back, bro. Now once we get across the street, one of the guys yell out,
Don't be scared, y'all good.
and when the guy turned around, I noticed his face. And it was Snitching Randy. A name I gave him later on in life because he would be known to get the cops info on everybody he was hustling with. All of us on the block, hitting plays, and he would disappear and all of a sudden walk out of an alley from a different direction of the block, which ain't out of the norm. Most of us always came back a different way than we went, but it was the times he got picked up by the cops but show up an hour or two later. This would happen on several occasions. I guess the snitches get stitches motto didn't really fly in our generation in Richmond, but in my dad's, oh man. And I knew this guy since I was a child, and he has always been a wild card. Bullying smaller kids, beating up girls, always gotta beat the dude up, and if he didn't beat him up, he would find something to beat you up with. A 2x4, a metal pole, tree branches, but now he's older, so he only fights with poles that shoot. I look at Duran and I tell him, ignore him, bro. Keep walking, we can walk back a different way.
Man, he talking about we scared.
I said, cause we is, motherfucker. That boy play with straps for real. You ever got shot? Nigga,
Ain't nobody scared, bro. We just trying to get to the store.
why niggas gotta be tough tonight? I start power walking ahead of him, telling him to come on, you doing too much. You acting real green right now. He stopped, literally where he stood.
Green? What you saying?
I'm saying let's talk about that later, bruh. Not right now. Trying to lower my voice. Snitching Randy.
Man, fuck that nigga Duran. He ain't cut like that. Let that nigga go. I give you $5, you rob that nigga.
I look at him like, how the fuck they know your name? And it hit me. His goddamn ponytail. I swear, he was the Richmond version of Naaman from The Wire. You gon' spot his ass 3 blocks down the street. But once I knew this guy knew him, I knew he was gonna try him. Duran won't cut like none of the guys that I really ran with aside from him, which is why every time he asked to come around with me, I told him no. And this is why I called him green, cause if you been around this shit long enough, you know when a motherfucker playing on your top, instigating or yeasting your head up like they cool, but they really finna fuck you over. He didn't know I was protecting him. He thought I was treating him like he was pussy, when in reality, he wasn't, but in the street realm, we kinda both was. No matter how much I hustled a corner, handled guns, got into fights, I was never willing to slang iron. I never knew why till I was older. And that saying, it gotta be in you, is the truest words ever spoken. Cause even if you get used to shooting a gun, killing people, and it becomes second nature to you now, it's still gonna bother you. You still gonna get them shakes here and there, have them nightmares. And you wanna know why? Because it ain't in you. So many of us forced into that life and end up on drugs or losing our fucking minds because we're constantly going against the natural order of how the hell you were made in the first place. And this when shit gets sticky. Here go Duran.
You ain't my daddy, bro. That's my dog. We cool.
By now, I'm a few steps away from the main road and I can see the glow from the store being the only thing lit up this time of night. And I see my older cousins standing out front drinking a beer with my other cousin. And so badly, I wanted to call his name. But it ain't gonna do shit. If he don't know who it is because it's so dark, he ain't gonna say nothing. He ain't gonna say, hey, yo, or who is that? He gonna ignore me. Duran is still standing there looking dumb. And I say, fuck it, and walk back towards him, and I pull his ass up the sidewalk. He halfway whip out with his hand on the grip, but not fully pulling it out. And when Snitching Randy see that, he walk over to him.
Oh, no, Lil Duran. Hold on now. Let me see that, lil' bruh.
I know what that mean. That mean I'm gonna politely take your gun from you because I know you too scared to do something about it. I've seen it happen with guns, blunts, a goddamn Game Boy. Shit, even some car keys, bro. We all knew Duran was square, but it didn't matter to me as long as you was you. But that night, my boy disappointed the fuck out of me. Duran now wants to follow me up the street. But Snitching Randy here now, motherfucker. Go ahead and hold a conversation with him like you wanted to. He passed him the gun like I knew he would. And I felt like the second calling of Black Jesus because I saw the future. He pointed the damn gun in his face telling him to give it all up. I saw it coming, bro. I seen the robbery. I seen it. Damn, bro. I thought we was cool. I thought we... Homie, no you didn't. You thought people was gonna all of a sudden respect your dumb ass because you got a gun now. So this is your way of copping please and hoping the guy with the gun got any ounce of humanity to not go through with this robbery. Newsflash, my boy. He don't. So mid-robbery, I'm about 10 feet away watching this happen. All I'm thinking about is the chain and the ring in my pocket that my mom boyfriend let me wear, knowing they gonna be pissed off if I lose it. Well, more so my mom. The dude, he probably just be like, oh, it's all good, man, you good. And I hear an older guy. He older than all of us. You could tell it's an older guy by the raspy in his voice. He yell out, yeah, lil' bruh, gonna rob his boy too, pointing at me. And I thought to myself, I should have left this nigga, yo. But in a sick twist of fate, Snitching Randy busts out laughing. I'm thinking maybe he joking with him, but no. He go back across the street.
Hey, look at this shit, bruh. Look at this shit.
Showing his homie the gun.
This a fucking BB gun, bruh. This a BB gun, Duran. For real, bruh.
I ain't catch it when I first saw it. Even when I held it, I never really messed around with guns. Never even shot one by this point. I'm just as shocked. I know you ain't out here snatching ass with a fake strap. Now, if nobody knows what snatching ass mean, in Richmond, Virginia, we say snatching ass as in trying to make something seem like it's this, but it ain't. It's like fronting your move. You faking the phone. That type of thing. I'm so embarrassed hanging with this nigga now. I leave. Yes, I know it's fucked up, but I told this man. Before we left the house, I told him about his shoes. I told him about the gun. I told him about all this. Like, even in the midst of being in front of these guys, he want to argue with me and play tough. Bro, so many times. I left this nigga, bro. I had a purpose for leaving. It wasn't just to leave. It wasn't just to get little right quick. I go to get my cousins who I saw standing outside the store. And for the sake of the video, we gonna call them Vic and Mick. And it was the best decision at this point because these cousins of mine was considered the OGs of this block, of this whole area basically. Now he may feel like I left him, but at this point, they laughing at you, laughing at us. We can't do nothing with these niggas at our age. These are 21, 20-some-year-old dudes. When I met Snitching Randy as a kid, I was like 9 years old. He had to be 13 or 14. So now that I'm 13, 14, he gotta be at least 17 or 18. So this man is a young adult, and I don't have a strap my damn self. Fighting is pointless unless you want to get shot in the face. I go up to the store, I talk to him for a little bit, tell him what's going on, and they immediately, who the messing with my little cousin. In this area of Dirty 30s, my family was very deep. Like I told y'all, I think it was that story, the Bryce story. It was the story before that. It was a street story, and I was telling y'all how my dad's name literally protected me growing up. Like growing up, I could walk down my block and be protected just by his name alone. And that went for the rest of my family because it was a lot of savages, I guess. I don't want to go too deep into it. So they walked me back over there, and they are literally still laughing at this boy. Still laughing at him. He just standing there, bro. Got his phone in his hand like he texting. Like, bro, who you texting? Who, bro? This is a Nokia phone. Who you texting? And my cousin tapped me.
That's your boy, look, cuz?
Yeah, man. I know, cuz. He don't know what the fuck he doing, man. Just get him out this jam for me.
Alright, man, but look,
if you gonna be out here, you need to leave Buddy in the house. That shit was so funny to me and real to me though. It almost felt like he was talking about a pet or your little sister or something. So they ain't say much. They showed their faces and said, that's Lil' Cuz people. And they chilled out immediately.
Oh, my bad. I ain't no unk. My bad, unk.
They was unk to everybody around here. Tried dapping me up and everything. Had me looking at my cousins like, who the fuck are y'all? Like, these dudes look afraid, let alone taking anything from anybody at this point. Like, they look real deal afraid. Either it's that or they just that much respect them, which is one thing I love about the older generation, bro. They had so much morals and respect. Not even just the street, just human decency, bro. Back to the story. So we go back to his crib and I ask him why he ain't tell me it wasn't a real gun. And this is what he tell me. Besides dude punching him in the back a week prior, he thought that I would bring him around a lot more if I thought he was a gangster like me. Verbatim.
I thought you would bring me around a little bit more if you thought I was gangster like you.
Verbatim. So me being able to mingle with that type of element, in his eyes, I was a hardened criminal. Bro, not enough you clutching that shit like you got one, for real. That alone gets you shot. But then the nerve for it to be fake. Nigga might kill you just cause of that. He's sitting there looking stupid. Can't even look me in the eye. I leave out after that. I ain't got the energy. I really don't know what to say at the moment. But now, adult me, and when I think back at that moment, I wish I knew the things then that I know now. My cousins walked us to his crib and told me that I was going home. Not, all right, look, cuz, go home. Nah, it was you taking your ass home and we making sure of it. So he let me go in and talk to him for a little bit, and they waited outside when I came back out because I had to get my stuff too. I had to bring a bag or something with me. There's levels to this shit. Now you got Green, which was me. So I knew enough to be enough with little experience in the game, wanting to learn everything there is to know to survive in it, but was never built for it. But then you got Lemon, which was Duran, who never even tested the waters in the street, but he was so fascinated with everything about the streets. And you can find more lemons like him in the suburban areas. That's that type of guy. And just to be clear, these are my definitions. If you got a better way of describing Green, Lemon, hit them comments, man. I really want to know what y'all think. So I stopped hanging around him. Number one, he refused to defend himself. If it was one thing I always remembered my old man telling me was, it don't take street to stand up for self. Straight up. Number two, I was still struggling with my own identity. So him not being what I already thought I was at the time, in my mind, it was a stain on my jacket, on my reputation. And number three, remember that girl I was with at the time, the sophomore? Yeah. I would talk to her from his phone a lot because my phone ain't never had minutes, literally. Carrying around a Nokia phone just to look like I got my own jack. But one of these days, I'm talking to her and I went outside for something. I forget what it was, but when I get back, he's on the phone now, cheesing and talking greasy. I instantly laugh, come on, bro, she don't want your ugly ass, you know what I'm saying? Take the phone from him. And I get on the phone and she pissed, talking about, why you hang with that cornball? Like, who does that? Just going in on him. And I tell her cool out, he was just playing, and she tell me, nah, you need to check his ass. I don't play them silly ass games. And I take it as if she tripping. We have an argument, she bang on me. It wasn't until I met up with her, I think a week and a half later, and she showed me her cell phone call log of Duran calling her while I'm not there. Because it's a house phone, you got memory of every person you called or called you. And all she said was, told you he was a cornball. Now I'm pissed. I call him when I get home and he straight lie. Now because he lied about something that small, I knew it had to be something more darker going on with him. And if I ain't have proof, I would have believed him because of how he explained it. But after that whole phone conversation, I don't even confront him at all. I just leave him be altogether. And the last encounter I had with him was him beefing with my cousin over, wait for it, yup, you guessed it, another chick. But I do got one question before I go. I'm pretty sure I brung this up before, but for the newbies in the building, can a preteen even be classified or labeled as anything real in the streets? If the little boy don't even know who he is or where he belongs on the road to finding himself, shouldn't we expect mistakes or missteps? Like for real, if a 14-year-old rapper blew up today and showed the world he's a gangster, I'm a gangster, his persona is I'm a gangster, but we find out 6 months later he's really a square, we gonna get him the fuck out of here. Not school him, not teach him how to be himself or make it cool to be himself. Our justice system would take pity on a child killer over an adult killer because of brain development. Why it ain't the same for all our young guys faking the funk because they don't know any better? And then when they do become to know better, they are still easily influenced, impressionable. But what do I know? This story is actually like directly behind the I think he broke my arm story, so check it out if you ain't seen it yet. Somebody actually suggested that I put some stories in a playlist, merge them together so I can kind of give out my full whole life story in one little playlist. I'm like, bro, that's a lot. 31 years? Well, 32 this year. My birthday, April 5th. So yeah, so April 5th, my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Show your boys some love in them comments. But the message I want to leave with y'all is this. It's okay to be the square, the nerd, the person you want to be. It's more people out there who's like you than not, that you will fit right in with. I never say it's okay to be street or a gangster, but I would be a fool to tell you not to be in tune with the environment that you live in. If I've learned one thing in life, is that the truth will always set you free. Folks think it's just a reference to religion and churchgoers, but no, it applies to everything. I can't count on how many times being real, honest, or truthful literally saved me from dying or jail time. Something simple is not insulting the officer's intelligence made him have mercy on me. Telling a group of guys I run with who sell crack that I don't made them respect me for being me and not trying to impress them, because being me impressed them enough to build a solid friendship. Remember, anything built on a lie will fall eventually, no matter how long it takes for the truth to come out. Do you really want to live your life while you got that sword dangling over your head, or live free knowing there's nothing to hide? But that's all I got. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay positive, y'all stay sober. If you ain't moving, you losing, my boy. And we out.
Call me, D. Hustler talk, no comment though, just paper chase. Chasing my dreams, my nightmares ain't got no money, just a cardboard sign and they existing so bummy. And they want me down with them at the bottom of the barrel. I don't want no parts of it. For that life I never settle, so I go all in that bit, want all my pockets down. I be cool until I yoke the game and make them dig it out. They want me on the